Hi, everybody. This is Denise Tawwab, coming back to you today to talk about a new NIST publication, NIST Special Publication 850, which is the security publication on building an IT security awareness and training program. This is going to be a five-part series. What I'm doing now is part one, where we talk about the components of an IT security and awareness program, and we talk briefly about what's required to get started. In the overall course, we're going to be covering the components of an awareness training and education program, which is what we're going to do in this video. The next video, we'll talk about designing the program. The third video, developing your material. The fourth video, implementing the program. And then the fifth video will cover the post-implementation activities that you need to be engaged in. So let's get started. Introduction. Your organization can't protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your information without making sure that all of your people involved understand their roles and responsibilities related to your organizational mission, understand your organization's IT security policies and procedures, and have at least adequate knowledge of the various controls or the countermeasures, the security countermeasures that involve the work that they do. And so you have to begin to make your people aware of security in your organization and to train them on the different things that they need to do and not do. It's generally understood in the IT security community that people are one of the weakest links in your attempts to secure your networks and your information. The people factor, not the technology, really is key to providing an adequate and appropriate level of security. Um, so if people are the key, but also the weakest link, more and better attention has to be paid to this particular organizational asset, your people. You need a robust and enterprise-wide awareness and training program to ensure that the people who serve you and the people that you interact with and who interact with your systems really understand how to properly use the systems and protect your resources, especially the ones that they have been entrusted with. 850, the purpose of 850 is to provide guidelines for building and maintaining a comprehensive awareness and training program as part of your IT security program. The guidance in 850 is presented in a life cycle approach, ranging from designing, developing, and implementing an awareness training program through post-implementation. Provides guidance on how security professionals can identify awareness and training needs, develop a training plan, and get organizational buy-in for the funding of those program efforts. 850 also gives you guidance on how to select your awareness and training topics, how to find sources of material, how to implement awareness and training materials using different methods, how to evaluate the effectiveness of the program, and how to update and improve the focus as technology and organizational priorities change. The audience for 850 is intended to be useful to several groups. Your CIO, and I don't know why I have 853 on that slide, but this is about 850. The audience is going to be your CIOs, your IT security program manager, your IT security staff, system and application owners, other managers, contractors, and training coordinators. And I'm going to talk a bit about each one of these. The scope of this document covers what your organization should do to stand up an IT security training and awareness program. Includes awareness and training needs of all users of your IT, discusses professional development and certification issues, and mentions IT security education. So there's another document in the NIST special publications, and that's NIST Special Publication 816. And I mentioned that here because it is a companion document to 850. 816 is called Information Security Technology Training Requirements, a Role and Performance-Based Model. The two publications are complementary. 850 works at your higher strategic level. And so that's where we'll be in the next 5 videos. We'll discuss how to build the IT security awareness and training program. 816 works at the tactical level and really gets into the weeds about an approach to role-based IT security training. So we're going to start the training with 850 and do those 5 modules, and then later I'll do some of the material from 816 because it really gets in there and teaches you how to train specific roles within your organization. Okay, as it relates to policy, OMB, Office of Management and Budget, Circular A130, Appendix 3, addresses training as an element of a system security plan for a general support system and as an element of an application security plan for a major application. The circular states, and I'm reading at this point, ensure that all individuals are appropriately trained in how to fulfill their security responsibilities before allowing them access to the system. Such training shall ensure that employees are well versed in the rules of the system and apprise them about available technical assistance and technical security products and techniques. Behavior consistent with the rules of the system and periodic refresher training shall be required for continued access to the system. So basically, OMB Circular A130 says you have to train your people on IT security in order for them to access, in this case, federal systems. As part of an application security plan, before allowing individuals access to the application, ensure that all individuals receive specialized training focused on their responsibilities and the application rules. This may be in addition to the training required for access to a system. Such training may vary from a notification at the time of access to formal training. Then you have FISMA, the Federal Information Security Management Act of 2002, requires that the head of each federal agency ensure that the agency has trained personnel sufficient to assist the agency in complying with these requirements and related policies, procedures, standards, and guidelines. And it also requires the agency head to delegate to the agency CIO or comparable official the authority to ensure compliance with the requirements imposed on the agency, including training and oversee personnel with significant responsibilities for information security. So FISMA says you got to train your people. Circular A130 says you got to train your people. And remember, these NIST publications were originally written for federal organizations. So this is discussing how security, and in this case, security awareness and training, is done within the federal government. I teach it because it's also relevant to corporations that do business with the government or that for some reason are called to comply with these guidelines. And it's just a good baseline if you're starting out standing up your IT security program or your IT security awareness and training program. These are some really good guidelines, whether you're a federal organization or not. These guidelines are good. FISMA also states the required agency-wide information security program shall include security awareness and training to inform personnel, including your contractors and other users of information systems that support the operations and assets of the agency, inform those people of information security risk associated with their activities. In other words, what could you mess up working with this data or this system, and their responsibilities in complying with agency policies and procedures designed to reduce these risks. So let's talk about the elements of program policy. The IT security program policy should include a clear and distinct section devoted to requirements for the awareness and training program. The IT security awareness and training program policy should cover topics such as the roles and responsibilities that are going to be involved, development of program strategy and a program plan, implementation of the program plan, and then maintenance of the awareness and training program on an ongoing basis. With respect to roles and responsibilities, It's important to understand the policies. It is also crucial that your agency understands who has responsibility for the IT security awareness and training. Some organizations have a mature IT security program. Other organizations may be just starting out and struggling to get basic staffing, funding, and support. The form that your awareness and training program takes will vary greatly from agency to agency, depending in part on the maturity of your program. One way to help to ensure that your program matures is to develop and document IT security awareness and training responsibilities for those key positions upon which the success of the program depends. The responsibilities can be documented in agency policy, position descriptions, and in performance or individual development plans. So, how does organizational culture impact this? Well, differences are going to impact the placement of the IT security program. Who does it? Who's responsible for it? How is it rolled out? It's going to impact the funding support. Are you in an organization that values training and awareness? To the extent that it is valued, your funding will be impacted, and access to and support by management. Okay, let's cover some roles and responsibilities. Your agency head, your chief information officer, information technology security program manager, other managers, and your end users. So, with respect to the roles and responsibilities for the head of the agency, that's your CEO, agency heads must ensure that high priority is given to effective security awareness and training for the workforce. Um, as with all IT security initiatives, it has to start at the top. The motivation, the energy has to come from the leadership. The agency head implements a viable IT security program with a strong awareness and training component. The agency head designates a chief information officer, assigns responsibility for IT security, ensures that an agency wide IT security program is implemented and is well supported by resources and budget, and ensures through sufficiently trained personnel that IT resources are protected. So those responsibilities fall to the head of the agency or to your CEO, whoever's in charge of the overall IT security, um, the overall organization. All right. Next up, your chief information officer. What's the roles and responsibilities there? Well, your CIO is tasked by FISMA to administer training and to oversee personnel with significant responsibilities for information security. So, all of the people who have significant IT security roles within your organization will fall under the CIO's mandate from FISMA to administer training to those people and to oversee their development. The CIO also works with the agency IT security program manager to establish the strategy for the awareness and training program, to ensure that the agency head, senior managers, system and data owners, and other users understand the concepts and strategy of the security awareness and training program and are kept informed about how the program is being implemented. The CIO also ensures that the agency's IT security and awareness training program is funded, ensures that the training of the personnel with significant security responsibilities happens, ensures that all users are sufficiently trained in their security responsibilities, and ensures that there are effective tracking and reporting mechanisms in place so we can see how the program is going. Then you have your IT security program manager. This person has tactical level responsibility for the awareness and training program. They are in the weeds. The IT security program manager ensures that awareness and training material developed is appropriate and timely for the intended audience. Um, the program manager ensures that awareness and training material is effectively deployed and reaches the intended audience, ensures that users and managers have an effective way to provide feedback on the training and on the material and on how it was presented. The IT security program manager ensures that the awareness and training material is reviewed periodically and updated when needed, and also assist in establishing a tracking and reporting strategy. Then you have your line managers, your unit managers within the agency. Their roles and responsibilities involve complying with IT security awareness and training requirements that have been established for their employees. So your managers have to work with the CIO and the IT security program manager to meet shared responsibilities. They serve in the role of system owner and or data owner where applicable. They consider developing individual development plans for users and roles that have significant security responsibility. Your managers promote the professional development and the certification of the IT security program staff and any other people involved who have significant security responsibilities. Managers ensure that all the users of their systems are appropriately trained in how to fulfill their security responsibilities before giving them access. They ensure that users, including contractors, understand the specific rules of each system and application that they use. And managers work to reduce errors and omissions by users due to lack of awareness and or training. So basically, your managers make sure that people get trained on everything necessary to secure the systems. And then you have your end users. Your users are the largest audience in your organization, and they are the single most important group of people who can help reduce intentional errors and IT vulnerabilities. These are the people who can get you hacked or who can prevent you from getting hacked. Users may include your employees, contractors, foreign or domestic guests, researchers, other agency personnel, visitors, and other collaborators or associates who require access to your systems. Your users must understand and comply with your security policies and procedures. They have to be trained in the rules of behavior for the systems and applications to which they have access. They work with management to meet those training needs, and they must keep software applications updated with security patches. Users must also be aware that the actions they take um, can protect the agency's information or put it at risk. The actions include, but are not limited to, proper password usage, data backup, proper antivirus protection, reporting any suspected incidents or violations of the security policy, and following rules established to avoid social engineering attacks and rules to deter the spread of spam or viruses and worms. So those are the roles that really have to pay attention to or be addressed within your IT security awareness and training program. So let's talk about that's the overview introductory material. Now let's begin to talk about the components of an awareness and training program. A successful IT security program consists of developing IT security policy that reflects the business needs, tempered by the risk. Information users of their IT responsibilities as documented in agency security policies and procedures, and establishing processes for monitoring and reviewing the program. As I said earlier, there is a need for management buy-in. The focus of the program is going to be on the organization's entire user population, so everybody gets considered. Management must set the example for proper IT security behavior by behaving properly. In a lot of organizations, as you may already know, a lot of times everybody will be subject to the security policies except the CEO or some senior manager who feels like they can violate the policies. But you have people watching, and so you want to make sure that management sets a good example. An awareness program should begin with an effort that can be deployed and implemented in a number of ways and is aimed at all levels of the organization, including your senior and executive managers. And the effectiveness of the effort will usually determine the effectiveness of the awareness and training program. Your awareness and training program is important because it is the vehicle for disseminating information to the user groups that we've talked about, and it is the primary vehicle to be used to communicate the security requirements across your organization. An effective IT security and awareness and training program explains the proper rules of behavior for the use of your IT systems and information. The program communicates security policies and procedures that need to be followed, and this must precede and lay the basis for any sanction. So before you can discipline someone or even talk to someone about non-compliance, you have to show them what compliance looks like. Users first should be informed of the expectations, and then your accountability is derived from a fully informed, well-trained, and aware workforce. So the continuum, learning is a continuum. It starts with awareness, it builds to training, and evolves into education. The learning continuation is further described in a lot of detail in this special publication 816 that I talked about, the companion program to 850. So the continuum, let's kind of drill down into that. Awareness is the first step, and awareness is not training. The purpose of awareness presentations is simply to focus attention on security. Awareness presentations are intended to allow users to recognize the IT security concerns and to respond accordingly. The next step on the continuum is training. Training strives to produce relevant and needed security skills and competencies by the people who practice functional specialties other than IT security. And that would be management, your systems design and development people, acquisition, auditing, the people within your organization who do things that impact security. They require more training beyond the awareness level. Next up on the continuum after training is education. And education integrates all of the security skills and competencies into a common body of knowledge. It adds a multidisciplinary study of concepts, issues, and principles, and strives to produce security specialists and professionals who are capable of vision and proactive response. So the continuum is awareness, training, and education. Awareness is defined in 816 as not training, focus on security, allow individuals to recognize IT security concerns and respond accordingly. In awareness activities, the learner is the recipient of information, whereas the learner in a training environment has a more active role. Awareness relies on reaching a broad audience with attractive packaging techniques. And so a lot of awareness initiatives, you see bright, shiny posters pa- pla- ah, pa- plastered. Ooh, I struggled with that word. All over the building. You'll see posters talking about not clicking on links in emails and things of that nature. But awareness really depends on the packaging because you want to be able to catch somebody's attention, remind them of security topic, and keep it moving. Training is more formal with the goal of building knowledge and skills to facilitate the job performance. So we want you to actually be able to do something when you come out of training. Some examples of awareness topics include virus protection, password usage policy, and the implications of noncompliance, data backup and storage, laptop security while traveling, and social engineering. Um, awareness topic can be simply and briefly addressed by introducing the topic, talking about how it impacts the system or the end user, and telling the user what they should do relative to the particular topic. Between awareness and training, there is a bridge, and it's fully covered in Special Publication 816, but it's called Security Basics and Literacy. The basics and literacy material is a core set of general terms, topics, and concepts that a user would need to know to protect your information. And it includes things like assets, backups, the laws and regulations, policies, email security concerns, controls, individual accountability, and a list of terms that people need to know so that when you go into training, people already are familiar with the terms. It's sort of like teaching when you start teaching children to read, you first teach the alphabet, and that's just awareness. when you start with the toddler teaching them the ABCs and you sing the song and they learn the ABCs, that's kind of awareness training because at that level, they don't really understand what this is about. They just know that's a catchy song. And then you get into this bridge area, which in security is your basics and literacy, where the ABCs gets turned into words, and you learn sentence structure, and you learn what things mean and why they matter, on a general level, before people go into specific training. So that's security basics and literacy. I may do a video on that in detail later when I cover 816. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but once your organization has established a program of security awareness and you've talked to people about awareness and they're kind of vigilant, the basics and literacy material will allow them to develop um, a more robust awareness program. It allows you to drill down and take them a little bit deeper. You're still not into training, but you've moved beyond awareness. The security basics and literacy material is the foundation for the security training program. All right, let's talk about training. Training has a goal of beyond awareness. It wants to produce relevant and needed skills and competencies. We want you to be able to do something when you come back from training or to know something that will allow you to do what you do more effectively. Training in this 816 is defined as the training level of the learning continuum strives to produce relevant and needed security skills and competencies by practitioners of functional specialties other than IT security. For example, management, systems design and development, acquisition, and auditing. The most significant difference between training and awareness is that training seeks to teach skills, which allow a person to perform a specific function, while awareness seeks to focus attention on an issue or a set of issues. The skills acquired during training are built upon the awareness foundation, in particular upon the security basics and literacy materials that I just discussed. And a training curriculum must not necessarily lead to a formal degree from an institution of higher learning. However, a training course may contain much of the same material that you would find in a college course. So, an example of training: an IT security course for system administrators could address in detail the management controls, operational controls, and technical controls that should be implemented. Management controls include policy, IT security program management, risk management, and lifecycle security. Operational controls include personnel and user issues, contingency planning, incident response, awareness and training, computer support. And your technical controls could include things like identification and authentication, logical access controls, audit trails, and cryptography. So that's an example of what training would cover. Education, the next level on the continuum, is defined as the education level integrates all of the security skills and competencies of the various functional specialties into a common body of knowledge. Then it adds a multidisciplinary study of concepts, issues, and principles, and strives to produce IT security specialists and professionals capable of vision and proactive response. An example of education is a degree program at a college or university. For instance, when you go get a master's in information security, um, that would be education. Um, if you take a course or several courses to enhance your skills in a particular discipline, this is still training as opposed to education. And also, you can get certificates from many colleges where you take 2 to 8 classes in a related discipline and you get a certificate when you're done with all the courses. Again, this is not considered education on the continuum, it is still training. Education leads to a degree. And then there's a level called professional development. And professional development ensures that your users from beginning to career security professionals have a required level of knowledge and competence necessary for their roles. Um, Professional development validates skills through certifications. This would be your CEH, your CISSP, your CISA, Security Plus, Network Plus. All of that is professional development. Such development and successful certification can be termed professionalization. The prep work to testing for such a certification normally includes studying a prescribed body of knowledge or technical curriculum and may be supplemented by on the job experience. There is a movement toward professionalization within the IT security field, and this can be seen among your IT security officers, auditors, contractors, and network administrators. And it continues to evolve. There are going to be two types of certification, general and technical. The general certification focuses on establishing a foundation of knowledge on the many aspects of the IT security profession. This is going to be your CISSP certification. It's you get an overall look at IT security. Your technical certification is going to focus primarily on the technical security issues related to specific platforms, operating systems, vendor products. These are your AWS certifications, your Cisco certifications, your Microsoft certifications, RSA Archer. Those are all technical certifications that focus your attention on a particular platform or a particular vendor. Many organizations focus on IT security professionals with certifications. I'm saying at this point, most organizations are looking for IT security professionals who have certifications, and other organizations will pay raises and bonuses to people who have certs. So keep that in mind. I think we all kind of get that. And that's the intro to the IT security and awareness training program. Next up in part 2, we'll talk about designing an awareness and training program. How do you actually begin to map it out on paper? And that's coming up. I appreciate you so much for joining, and thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.